Alright, so if you're watching this video, you probably already have dealt with this frustrating pattern where you kind of just launch ads for your Medspa. You know, you're just launching them for no reason. They work amazing for about 45 to maybe 60 days, and then they just completely die. And then you're sitting there going, okay, what the hell happened? You know, did Facebook break? Did my creative stop working? You know, maybe my targeting got messed up. Who knows? And here's the thing, okay? I've audited personally 30 something around 30 mess spots or so ad accounts over the past year or so, and I see the exact same pattern over and over and over again. But it's not what you think, okay? It's not that your ads have stopped working. It's not that Facebook has changed their rules and their hidden rule book or whatever. It's the fact that your audience pool has completely ran completely dry. And if you don't understand this mechanism, okay, you're gonna keep burning over $5,000 to nearly $10,000 for the next 60 days, thinking that you just need a better creative, or you might need better copy or whatever. So in this video, in this first video, I'm gonna walk you through the entire board, and I mean literally walk you through every single step in exactly what's happening, why it keeps on repeating itself, and what's it costing you every single month, okay? And look, it's not some sort of surface level, you know, here's a tip that you find on TikTok or something. I'm gonna show you the actual mechanisms, okay? The actual math, and finally the big breakdown. Let's get right into it. So, what we have here is this, what I like to call the 60-day ad death cycle, and this is why your Medspa is dying after 60 days. So if you're watching this, you've probably experienced ads working 60 days, and then you just think they just sort of die, and you're thinking, what's going on? You know, did Facebook change their algorithm? Did my creative stop working? Did my targeting break? None of these are the problem. Okay. Now this is what I like to call your audience pool. Okay. You have your hot pool, which is your immediate audience, where they're the people that love your content the most, okay? They watch it, they aspire to go to your med spa after saving up enough money, etc. They're actually interested in your med spa. They engage with your beauty content. They're your real prospect. They're actual real people, okay? And they're your best leads. This is the hot pool, and this is what you're hitting in the first 45 to 60 days. Now, the problem is that after a sort of amount of time, Facebook realizes that they're just hitting the same people over and over again. So they slowly transition you to the warm pool. And these are people who kind of fit your targeting, you know. Maybe you're targeting women aged 25 to 35. You're now starting to target women plus 40, for example. You know, they're not as engaged though, and you know, they clicked the beauty ad around 6 months ago, and honestly they wouldn't remember you if you paid them $1 million. And last but not least, they don't interact much with your content, and this is what Facebook puts you in after 60 days. So that's why you see that big drop in viewership, in your ads, in your creatives. And finally, the cold pool, which is people who don't know who you are, people who are, you know, 16 years old, who are into baseball, are seeing your content and your ads and stuff, and they're just thinking to themselves, why am I even getting this ad? I'm not even interested in it. And these are people that barely match your targeting. They're low intention, so they might not even be from your city in the first place, and they won't convert well. And the worst part of it all is that they're the high cost per lead. Okay. And while all of this is happening, you're thinking, I need a better creative, but that is not the issue. You've already burned through your qualified audience, okay? So this is the map that I like to use, which is day 1 to 30 is pretty much the hot pool. You're pretty much in this area. You know, life is good. You're hitting all your prospects, etc. Then after days 31 to 60, you slowly transition to your warm pool, and then you start to see a dip in sales, and your cost per lead getting higher, your cost per acquisition getting higher, and your ROAS getting lower. Finally, after 61 to 90 days, around 2 to 3 months running ads, you've just completely exited this. You know, you're now just wasting money running ads. And to put this into numbers, let's say your audience size was around 3K, right? Your cost per lead, which is $18, okay? So you're basically paying $18 to acquire a potential customer. That is really, really good, because if your service is around your product is around $300 to $400, you're basically having a 20x ROAS. You're getting around 167 leads from all of this, and you're only spending around $3,000 a month on ads. The success of this is very high, as you guys will already know. However, now the only benefit to your audience size increasing is that now it's not targeted. So basically you have a bigger audience, but now it's just people who kind of know your content. Now your CPL is increasing by 2 times, so you're paying $35 to acquire a customer. Still good, but it's not ideal to grow business. You've now lost half of your lead flow. So you've lost basically half of your customers from doing absolutely nothing. You're spending the exact same amount. So if you're spending less, I guess I understand, but you're spending the exact same amount, and the success of this is very medium. And this is where a lot of Medspas, around 95% of Medspas, are operating in during this time. Last but not least is days 61 to 30, or in other words, what I like to call the 2 to 3 month drought. You are hitting around 15K people per your audience, and your marketing team or your agency might be showing you that they're hitting so many metrics, but it's all just fluff because they're hitting people who don't even know you, right? Your cost per lead is getting much higher, $65. Now your leads are down to 46 leads per month, basically a lead per day. Your ad spend is around the same, so that you're paying the exact same, and your success is very, very low. I've personally never ever seen a med spa get past this rut and make it through the storm, okay? But this is why most med spas give up on ads after 90 days. They say that ads don't work for my business, but the ads are completely fine, okay? It's not the ads. But the problem is that you have no audience expansion system, right? This is why it gets worse over time, the 3 compounding problems. So number 1, frequency fatigue. When you keep on showing the same ad to the same people, CTR drops by a lot. So click-through rate for the ads drops from 2% to 0.8% for the 2% for the hot pool, 0.8% for the warm pool, and finally for the cold pool, 0.3. And most of the time, this 0.3% is just people who are clicking just to click it, right? Just for curiosity. They're not even in your industry though. Facebook thinks your ads is bad, and then your cost per conversion, which basically means how much you're paying to acquire a customer, increases from 50 cents to $1.20 to $2.50. Oh, sorry, excuse me, cost per click, not cost per conversion. Your cost per click increases from 50 cents to 120 to 250. And the result of this is that you're paying double for the same traffic, and while this is happening, you're paying 2 times for the exact same clicks for no absolute reason. You're not doing this for any reason. It's just that the fact that time has passed and your business is just going down the road, okay? You're not doing anything and you're still losing customers. Problem number 2, audience overlap. You think that 4 ad sets and you're getting 20,000 people that are reached through these ad sets. But the reality is that you're reaching 6,000 people 4 times. So most med spas don't even know that Facebook does this, but they rerun your ads over and over to the exact same people, and those people get repetitive and tired of the same ad that they're seeing over and over, which can result in the fact that 70% of your ad spend is wasted on repeated impressions, right? And these are the vanity metrics that your agency or your marketing team will show you, that they're getting 20,000 impressions, so many people saw our ad. Well, that doesn't matter because it's being shown to the exact same people, and while you don't know this is happening, you're wasting nearly 70% of your budget, right? Problem number 3 is no fresh pool category. Number 1, you're not building lookalike audiences, you're not running engagement campaigns, you're creating content for retargeting, you're feeding the pixel with fresh data. You're not doing any of these things. And these are super, super, super important. When the initial pool runs out, there's nothing to replace it, meaning it just moves on straight towards the next pool. And that turns into the pipeline being empty. And each month this stays broken, you're stuck in the same cycle. You launch ads for a month or 2, they work, then they die, and then you repeat with a new offer, new this, new that, when the problem was always in the house, okay? Here's the real cost of what you're leaving on the table when you don't fix this, okay? Current state. So during month 2, you're spending around $3,000 a month on ads. You're getting around 86 leads, okay? 86 leads per month, and your CPL is $35. Cost per lead is $35. Now, your booking rate is around 30%, so the farther you go through the pool, the lower your booking rate goes, because you're engaging with audiences who don't really know you, therefore have no real reason to be committed to you specifically. When was the last time you've truly bought something, like your phone, for example? The reason why you have an iPhone or a Samsung is because you trust a brand, right? Now, if they're going to spend a lot of money on you, they have to trust you. So how are they going to trust you when they keep on moving higher and higher through the pools? Worst of all, their show rate is 70%, so sometimes they don't even show to the appointment because they flake. They think you're not legitimate. So you're getting around roughly 18 clients. 18 clients per month. The average transaction for all of this is around, let's say your ticket price is around $300, you're getting around $5,400 in revenue, but your ROI is the most important thing. 1.8 for an ROI. That is really, really, really bad. Now, let's go on to this. With the audience expansion system, you're paying $3,000 for ads, so the exact same amount, you're getting double the leads because your pool is being refilled over and over with the concept that I told you right here. Running engagement campaigns, creating content for retargeting, feeding the pixel with fresh data, and all in all, your booking rate stays around the same, okay? Because you're still in that sort of month 2 area. However, your show rate still stays the same as well, but you get more clients out of this simply because you have more leads in the pipeline. You have more lead flow, and your cost per lead, you're paying less to acquire more, and who doesn't want that? Imagine now your average transaction being $300, but instead of only making around $5,400 in revenue, you make nearly 10K in revenue, which can result in a 3.5x ROAS. Double the ROAS from all this without spending a single extra dime on ads. You're still spending $3,000 a month. The difference is over $5,100 in revenue per month. More revenue, and you're spending the exact same. Same targeting, you just refilled the audience pool again and again. It's like finishing your water bottle and you just refill it back up. That's simply it. Literally it, instead of trying to get the last droplets through. That's what I'm seeing with a ton of med spas. Annually, $61,000 left on the table. Can you believe it? And each month that you're not doing this, that money is gone. Because here's the thing. If they're not going to go to you, they're going to go to someone else at the end of the day. You need to build a sort of audience. The reason why to trust you. And overall, people put their money where they trust it. And but here's the thing. If it's so obvious, why don't most people fix this? Here's the 3 reasons, okay? Number 1, they don't know what the problem is. They think that the issue is, having a bad creative, the copywriting of the ad, the offer positioning, or the land page design. And that's true, I guess, but that's not the main problem. So they just try to keep on testing new images, new headlines, new layouts, but that's not addressing the actual mechanism. Audience saturation. They keep burning through the same pool over and over and over again, sort of like a cycle. Reason number 2, they don't know how to build a system. Even if they understand the problem, they don't know how to build lookalike audiences properly, how to structure engagement campaigns, how to create content that fuels and feeds the retargeting pool, and how to expand without saturating faster. So they either hire an agency who does the exact same thing that they're doing except with knowledge when they don't actually have any, or they just give up entirely. Reason number 3 is that they think that they can restart later. And here's a dangerous assumption that you need to understand. You pausing ads for 60 days and then just restarting them, you're just burning through the same audience over and over again. You're not fixing the underlying problem within this. You might have maybe 2 weeks of decent performance and you might think everything's swell, and then it just dies over again. This doesn't work, and while this cycle continues, your competitors who understand this are scaling past you, because no matter what, you need to understand this. Your audience will go to a Medspa. The only thing that you have to do is make sure it's yours at the end of the day. And that's the full audience saturation problem, and this is why your ads die every 60 days. But even if you fix this, even if you build an audience expansion system, there's still one other leak in your funnel. It's costing you 40% of your leads. 40%. The leak is between the form fill and the actual booking. Because here's the thing, most Medspa owners think, I've got the lead, and now just call them. What's the issue? But there's a whole conversion process that's happening while you're screwing up without realizing it. In the next video, I'll show you exactly what's happening at this stage, why you're losing over 40% of your leads, and what it costs you every single month. And while you don't know this is broken, you're spending money on ads just to watch them disappear. We'll be fixing this, your booking rate and your show rate. I'll see you in the next video.